A killer who turns bodies into art. The chilling mystery of every dead thing. This is the story of Charlie Bird Parker, a man who once wore a badge but now wears something far heavier: grief. He's no longer part of the NYPD, no longer protected by the rules of law or the structure of a life anchored by family. What he is now is a man hollowed out by unimaginable loss, propelled by rage and sorrow, and haunted by memories that refuse to die. Parker's journey begins in the wreckage of his old life, after the murder of his wife and daughter, a crime so brutal it drove him to the edge of madness. In the wake of that trauma, he isn't searching for comfort. He's searching for answers, for revenge, and maybe, if it still exists, for redemption. What he finds instead is a world darker than he ever imagined. It starts with a missing person, an investigation offered by his former partner, almost a courtesy to a man no longer whole. But this isn't a simple case. It becomes a doorway into a vast, festering history of death and disappearance. A decades-old mystery that leads Parker from the streets of New York into the decaying swamps and secrets of the American South. The deeper he digs, the more tangled the roots become. He uncovers a series of killings that stretch back 30 years, each shrouded in silence and fear, all somehow connected to a killer known only as the Traveling Man. A figure so elusive and sadistic he seems to exist outside the boundaries of ordinary human cruelty. This is no ordinary murderer. The Traveling Man sees death as art, the human body as canvas, and the faces he takes as trophies in a gallery only he can see. But Parker does not walk this road alone. Alongside him are unlikely allies: Rachel Wolfe, a psychologist whose mind is as sharp as her heart is guarded, and Angel and Lewis, a pair of criminals whose friendship proves stronger than many he once shared with men in uniform. Each character carries their own shadows, and in their own ways, they become extensions of Parker's fractured soul. Through it all, the voice of the story never lets us forget the stakes. It watches Parker unravel and rebuild, torn between his thirst for vengeance and the flickering, reluctant desire to heal. The narration doesn't flinch from the horrors Parker encounters: physical, emotional, even supernatural. Ghosts whisper to him. The dead appear in his dreams. An old psychic, long gone, still finds ways to speak into his life. These elements lend the story a surreal, almost mythic quality, but they never distract from the emotional core. A man grieving, searching, and trying to remember what it meant to feel anything other than pain. Connolly's narrator does more than recount a mystery. It paints a portrait of a man being slowly pulled apart and stitched back together by the things he witnesses. The violence is real, yes, and the villain terrifying. But every dead thing is as much about the internal wounds as the external ones. It asks whether a man like Charlie Parker can ever truly be saved, or if the best he can hope for is a temporary silence between storms. In the end, this is a story about the cost of loss and the long road towards something like peace. It is gritty and poetic, haunting and human. Through the narrator's eyes, we see not just a detective chasing a killer, but a man wrestling with the ghosts of his past and the man he might still become, if the darkness doesn't consume him first. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more book summaries and insights. Feel free to check out another video or dive into the full playlist you see now for more great book summaries. Click now and keep exploring.